Good morning, welcome to Sunday. As you can see, I did manage to get that bonfire done that I had planned. Still a work in progress. I've got to push the edges in. I just need this to burn off a bit more, then I can flip it and keep sort of pushing it in, sort of like folding dough or making pastry. But as you can see, my lawn is now cleared. Let's head down to the creek walk. I'll just stop here quickly actually. If you've been with me for a while, you might remember that I had moved this, I think it's like a Siberian iris or something like that. There was a great big clump on the lawn. It obviously hadn't really been managed and it wasn't very productive, so I split it into 4, and so I've spread them about. I've got one here which is flourishing, and one there which similarly is, to demarcate the start of the creek walk. And I've kept one inside the garden fence, and I've put one over there. They're all flowering. Anyway, that's not the point. That was a diversion. So I don't know that I updated you really on the work I had done down on the creek walk. What I have done is shifted all the material I thinned, and that's gone on the bonfire as well. If we take a stroll, I can understand that probably it won't look that different to when you saw it before, and it doesn't really, but it is slightly thinned, and some of this weird shaggy stuff that sprouted out of the trunks of the trees I've raised. That would be a fire ladder, which I wouldn't enjoy. But you can see that it's still sort of quite dense in places. This will be a sort of ongoing project. In amongst all of this there's quite a lot of acacia trees and the type of tree called a pomaderris. So I'll have to sort of every now and then come down and as these trees mature, thin out the weaklings to give space for the bigger ones to flourish. This project therefore isn't going to be something that is going to be done in a day. But I did shift a lot of material. It is better. And then this is my fire break, which goes all the way up and up and up and up and up and up. You can walk up it back towards the house. There we go. Whilst we're out and about, there's a couple of other quick things I can show you. I'm now up at the orchard, and if you've been with me for a while, you'll know that in this former hen house. Usually, it's hard to know for certain, but about 2 to 4 red-bellied black snakes hibernate over winter underneath this wooden crate. And because of the wet weather and the inability to access the orchard that well, the grass in it has gone mental. So I have taken the precaution of trimming and mowing this area in front of the shed, which we call the snake shed, because they come out when the temperatures and the conditions are optimal and they sunbathe in front of the shed. I call it powering up, almost like they emerge from winter when their batteries are flat and it takes them a while to get their batteries fully recharged before they can slither off and go and have fun doing whatever it is they do. I didn't like the idea of not being able to see where they are, although they're very, very sensitive to vibrations and would normally scurry away and hide back under the crate. If they're not fully powered up, they can be very sluggish. I've had people sort of walk straight past a snake that's been right there before. The snake's just stayed there. Anyway, so this is a small, minor piece of snake preparation I've been up to. You're probably getting the gist by now if you haven't already. I'm all about prepping for stuff. There was one final update, which is in the house. I just wanted to show you this quickly. You may remember that a while ago I sanded back and oiled the kitchen worktop. Then I had to go to a bit of a hiatus whilst I accumulated more sandpaper. It's not so straightforward for us. The shops are very far away and we don't go there all that often. Anyway, I managed to acquire the sandpaper and I've now done the same to the bench top around the sink. I thought I'd just quickly show you that. It's much nicer. The next thing to do in the kitchen is I'm keen to paint all of this wooden part of the wall. Maybe the cupboard doors, but I'm not sure yet. I think I'd paint it and then decide if I want to do the doors too or not. We've chosen the colour and now it's just a case of buying it and getting on with it. It might be a week or 2 or 3 or 4 before I get around to doing that. Sorry, almost tripped over on Vita. Before I get around to doing that, because I have to sort of squeeze things in and out of other projects I've got going on. But sometime soon, this will be a lovely new colour. You find me in Will's car yet again because we're off on another overnight trip. We'll be staying at Will's parents' house because we've got business in the town that's quite nearby to them. So it's nice to break up the journey and hang out with the in-laws for a little bit. And their property is very beautiful, so it's always nice to go and visit. We'll be doing some sort of admin-y chores. For example, Will's looking to apply for British citizenship, which he's entitled to through his mum. He was born in the UK, but we need to first update his passport because that will make the process much simpler. His Australian passport expired, so that's going to be quite expensive and tedious. But also we've got other sort of DIY-y things to do, like trip to Bunnings. So nothing too exciting, but I'm happy to bring you along if you're interested. Welcome to Wednesday. Bit of a later start for me today. I've just completed our tax returns. Very tedious. Count yourself lucky if you don't have to do that. I never had to do that. Anyway, well, back in the UK. My employer did that for me. Not the case here. Anyway. Oh, it's a sunny day. Let me show you. It's a sunny day. Although it's windy and rain's predicted later, so I'm taking this opportunity to go and do some wood processing in the backwoods behind the house, continuing to thin the dead trees. I quickly wanted to show you these. Whilst we were away, you would have probably seen some brief footage of some road trips. I didn't really film anything else because, as usual, I'm too in the moment. And it's just sort of tedious admin-y buying stuff things anyway. But I'll show you some of the results, and this is one of the things I bought. It's a new pair of gardening gloves. Up until now I've been very happy with the bionic gloves that I've been wearing, but they do get holes in them relatively quickly. They take longer than others I've owned, but I just chew through gloves and they're very comfortable but quite expensive, and these are maybe about a third or a quarter of the price, at about $10 a pair, so I picked up 2 pairs. They're nothing like as fancy, but I thought I'd give them a go and see. It may be a case that these wear out even faster, in which case, although they're cheaper, I have to buy more of them to get the same amount of period of use, which may actually end up meaning the bionic gloves are better value for money. But I'm going to try these. They're by Hard Yakka, and I will report back what I think about them once I know more. What I'm going to do now is just grab my chainsaw, assemble it and drag it up the hill. I am thinking of experimenting with bringing the wood down by hitching up the trailer to my ride-on. My father-in-law came by and helped me get this ticking over again. There was a problem with the spark plug, it seems. I have ordered a new one, and also you may remember at the end of last summer one of the mowing blades came off when I hit a rock. It flew off. So I've ordered a new set of mower blades as well, ready for when I'm back to mowing the lawns. We're not there yet, thankfully. But yeah, I might experiment. I tried it when I was doing work down the creek walk, but it was very boggy and the mower slipped, and it's quite treacherous in that down the fire break part there's stumps, and I had to sort of chainsaw my way out of that a couple of times where I got lodged on stumps. And because the terrain's rocky and uneven, we have found in the past the trailer can have a tendency to tip. But I might try it, I might see. It will make life easier, or certainly less energy sapping, if I can bring the wood down this way rather than going up and down, up and down, up and down with the wheelbarrow. But we'll see. I'll bring you along with me intermittently and update you with how things are going. Well, today is going very badly. I managed to get the lawnmower up the hill as far as I needed to, and then when I tried to start it again, it just won't. It's died. You're supposed to make sure the choke's on, do the brake, and then I turn the key. It's just died. So I'm assuming it's an electrical problem. So that's going to be quite difficult to diagnose and then repair. And also, obviously, it was at the top of the hill, so I had to push it down. Gravity helped me a little bit, but for most of the way I had to push it because there's not as much gravity as I thought there was. As in, the slope's not that slopey on these lower reaches. And this is heavy, so I've pushed it as far as I can. I've pushed it as far as I need to before I can tow it with my car. I'm waiting for Will to get home. I tried to tow it on my own and it's quite difficult, so if one of us sits on the mower and one of us goes in the car, hopefully we can tow it the small distance back to the the potting shed, which is over there. Over there, that's the window over there. And then also I'm having problems with my chainsaw. I just can't get the chain to stay tense. So maybe it looks like the chainsaw's broken too. I'm going to ask Will if he can have a second look. Maybe a fresh pair of eyes might help. But yeah, my intention of going up and processing wood and bringing it down on the mower has failed on 2 fronts. I've basically achieved nothing so far this morning except for the tax return, and then becoming unbelievably upset and frustrated at my own ineptitude and that of my equipment. Well, I'm sorry that's a bit of a downer, but I mean that's just the truth of my day today so far. And I always intended this to be a vlog of truth, and there we are. Hopefully things will get better. Things usually get better. Let's be optimistic.